Well, hello and welcome people to the internet to another adventure. My name is Ganyonz and today we're jumping back into Lucky Hunter and we're going to be checking out the last faction here. Before we start, I want to thank everyone for the support on this little mini series here. I am very surprised by how many people were actually interested in watching Lucky Hunter content. You guys asked for it and I brought it, and then you guys really showed up for the series. So thank you so much for all the views, all the likes, and all the comments, you know, pointing out there were definitely some things that I was misunderstanding. The flag bearers for one, holy crap. After I read it like 5 more times after reading the comments, I was like, I just completely misread what this was doing. So hoping for a little bit better luck here and a little bit better strategy. So the other thing that someone pointed out was I had a question about this one, random attempt +2 in each battle. Wasn't really sure what this was doing. So just in case anyone is in the same pool, this is basically increasing the amount of times we can re-roll each at the end of each round, basically. So we're going to be going with the alchemists here. The alchemists are going to be interesting. Why can I not turn this? Because I still have the chubbies on. Man, those chubbies. I was not sure what I was going to do with that video, but we broke it into 2 parts. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. It was a good run, but now we're going with the alchemist. So a lot of people have been talking about potions and about why I haven't been using potions, mostly because I didn't have these guys unlocked until I think it was the last episode that we did. So now we're gonna be able to use potions. So I'm gonna have to figure out what exactly is going on on the fly, and let's go ahead and jump in. When gaining a potion, all pieces get +50 attack. Well, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, just free stats whenever you get a potion. I feel like we're going to be building up potions a lot here. I probably should have spent all my shells, actually, before I jumped in here. I have like 60 free ones. All right, let's get this going. Now, let's see. What do we want? We don't want bombs. Reduce enemies' HP by 1% for each type of potion used. Okay, so this can basically... Got it. So once this fuses... Okay, so for each type of potions, 1. So basically, this level unit would be 3%. This percentage, I'm assuming, is going to be going up as we level them up. So that's going to be pretty decent. I guess I'm just going to go with shield. Especially since I don't know... But I probably want to be looking for a camp of some kind, I'm assuming. I don't know how heavy I want to be looking for camps versus... Just taking, so like if I get an alchemist, I actually don't know. We'll take the potion here. I'm actually not sure. I'm assuming there is a camp for this faction, but I don't know that for a fact. 1 time. So I'm assuming that's 1 time per round, basically. Or not 1 time per round, but 1 time per fight. Yeah, let's go resilience. Oh, I see. So it's literally... Oh, okay. So it's like the chests from before. It's literally 1 time use only. Okay. I see. I see. So then, yeah, let's go. Let's grab a shield here. Yeah, okay, so we definitely... Okay, so I think from what I'm understanding... From what I'm understanding, the alchemist is basically our farm or our camp. It's not an actual camp, but it's essentially doing the same thing. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I guess we'll do the elite. Don't really have a need for the blacksmith right now. I'm surprised. A lot of people are saying that they really like the blacksmith. The blacksmith is not something that I've really been enjoying. So if I'm understanding this faction right, I think I'm going to have to pick up a secondary faction. Because everything I've seen, they feel more like a support faction than a primary faction. Although maybe the alchemist is just the damage dealer. I guess I didn't mean to hit that. So let's see. This turns, yeah. So this turns to 2%, right? So I guess it's it's possible you get enough of these, enough high levels. You can just insta-kill enemies as long as you're generating potions. And you just keep getting strength potions. Although the strength potions don't really work with what we have right now. So yeah, so I'm probably going to want to find another faction. I guess the question is... So I know I'm getting soldiers. keep getting the farms going. I guess what I'm still not 100% sure on. Yeah, so if I activate a faction from the main menu, well, no, because we were getting ninjas before. It's clearly not like the only faction, because we're clearly getting a lot of soldiers here. So maybe I need to start building soldiers. I was kind of hoping to go like ninjas, but I'm not seeing any ninjas. Let's just start this going. We already have 2 soldiers here. Let's keep the camps going. I feel like I'm going to need units like this to deal damage. Maybe that's wrong, but I don't know. My instinct is telling me to kind of build up some soldiers for damage dealers, because we have the alchemists that deal percentage damage. But I don't know. A lot of the potions do increase flat attack, so maybe having soldiers is okay. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this out. I kind of have a feeling that you're not necessarily supposed to turn just Alchemist on by itself, and maybe just have these show up randomly. All pieces gain attack plus 20. See, so something like this isn't actually... It doesn't feel great, because the 2 units that we have, the Alchemist and the Potion Guy, don't actually do any attack. So it would work with our soldiers. I think I'm probably just going to take it, because I feel like I'm going to have to take a secondary faction here to actually make this work. Definitely keep on taking the apothecaries. Did I say apothecary? Apothecary. Yeah, so let's... Okay, so I think we're definitely building into both soldiers. That might spread us out a little bit too much, but I don't know. Don't know. We're experimenting here. Let's keep going camp. Let's fuse them up. Start making some green soldiers. Soldier boys. Get another general. I'm gonna have to figure out a way, though, to get a little bit more defensive. Because with the chubbies, yeah, that busted. Oh, these are all... Shield is probably the least attractive option, although it's kind of decent to fuse. What do we need? I guess I probably just want more alchemists. Alchemists are just going to be doing very likely the most damage for us, especially since, oh, well, actually, because it's percentage based, not flat damage based, it's going to scale incredibly high in the future. Okay. Should have stayed on the last one. Okay, let's take the attack plus 3. Gain 2 armor when merging any pieces. Yeah, I'm just going to take that. I think that's just better than the temporary artifacts. Okay, Mrs. Mouse. The one that's definitely not a mouse. Yeah, although I'm not crazy about the soldiers, obviously. They're probably the weakest units out there, but... Oh, maybe that's how it works. Maybe, well, again, when we did chubbies, I didn't mean to click that. My hand just went. When we did the chubbies, wasn't I still getting like ninjas? Maybe so it's, maybe when you select one, you get that one and one other. Not sure. Again, the wording on some instances is a little odd. I would like it to be clarified just a little bit. Go apothecary. That being said, now that I've had the clarification when it comes to the flag bearer artifact, I'm like, well, is it really not clear, or is it just me not reading things correctly? 1 random piece, level +1 for 1 turn temporarily. Restore 3 HP at the beginning of battle. It's not much, but I'm just gonna take the healing talisman. Healing is healing, regardless of how much it is. Take another apothecary. Very nice, very nice. Definitely take another alchemist. Definitely want to get these guys as high level as possible. Refresh once. Yeah, for these, I'm just going to take a shield. Definitely taking the alchemist. Although, I only have one unit right now that's actually... Oh, no, I have two. Okay. Ooh, we have a green alchemist. On same level, soldier and shield. Okay, yeah, so this is what I was misreading. Okay, so the way that... Let's clarify this, because there were a lot of people saying that, like... So, what actually happened in the last episode, I was like, oh, guys, I get it now. And then as soon as I said what it was like, no, you still don't get it. So, how I was reading this to be, the first time when I was reading this, so I was reading, when same level soldier and shield of less than or equal to 4 on the field, they will be merged into a guard. So I was reading that when the soldiers, so when soldiers are combining, so you need 3 soldiers of the same type, and shield, or flag bearer, or flag in the last video's case, they will combine into the next level. So, but I thought that of less than or equal to 4. So basically I thought that you would need, for example, 3... Let's see, let me do the math here. So the gray, green, blue, purple. Okay, so 4 equals to 4 different. So if you have 4 purple soldiers, then you need, or you would need 3 purple soldiers and a flag of any level below that. If they were yellow, then you would need to have at least a green flag. I, for some reason, didn't put it together that it's when same level. So literally the same level soldier and shield of less than or equal, or this is the part I got confused, basically the second half. So what the second half is actually saying, of level less than or equal to 4, basically means that this fusion between a soldier and shield will only occur if they are of the same type, and this level is what confused me. If it will only happen if they are gray, green, blue, or purple. It will not happen if they are yellow and red. When you upgrade this to equal level 5, then they confuse if they are yellow, or 6 would be red. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to take the Guard Legend, and we're going to take the Alchemist. Now that we know how that works, yeah, so now we can start making some shielded soldiers. We can get some of the shields off the battlefield. Do I want this treasure chest? I don't know that I do. Or do I? Flag, I guess, is okay. Spear is not great, but I can sell it. Or, actually, I should probably just take the strength potion, because I just need potions going for our alchemists. Although our alchemists are doing basically nothing. For each type of potion used. Yeah. Wait. How did you just not... Didn't we just use a potion? Am I crazy? Oh, does it not count as damage? Is that why? Okay, so let's grab a flag. Okay, I think I understand now. Hang on. I actually want to slow it down. I want to make sure that I understand what's going on. Yep, so that gets used. Got it. Okay, so it's a reduction of HP. It doesn't count as damage. So that's a little odd. We're not going to actually see it on the screen here. I feel like... I don't know that I'm crazy about that. I wish that... I get why it's doing that, but I don't know. I wish that I could still see it on the left here. So because of that, there's no sense in taking the plus 10% damage. I'm going to take the damage received minus 10%. When gaining a potion, all pieces get attacked plus 1. That doesn't scale that. I mean, it's fine in the early game. Late game, this is going to fall off. Gain 8 gold when a piece is eliminated. I'm assuming that this works with our potions. This would give me an apothecary, though. I think I'm going to take the Gold Crush. Again, this is tough because I'm assuming that it works with potions, but I don't know for certain. Okay, we'll take it. I might have that completely wrong, but it is what it is. Let's go. Let's grab the general. Okay, we'll just keep going, Alchemist. I just need more potions. And we are just not getting them. All right, we'll get a shield. Fuse those up. There is a strength potion. All right. Strength potions are okay. I mean, obviously they're gonna scale pretty well, but right now, oh, come on, kill him! There we go. There we go. Okay, need some more soldiers. Yikes, that's a lot of damage. Do we want crossbowmen? Probably not. I don't want to go. I don't want to spread myself too thin. Trying to go for too many things at once. Let's see what we can get here. Oh, wait. No, blacksmith shop was the good one. I keep getting these confused. It's the, what is it? It's the other one that I don't like. I keep getting these confused. So let's go. Let's see here. These need to combine. Let's upgrade here. Let's upgrade here. Oh, I probably should have done my artifacts. All right, we'll hit the next blacksmith shop and we'll hit up the artifacts. That's a big yikes. Okay, we'll take a green general. It's fine. Maybe it's not fine. Evolution shield. Okay, we'll take that. How are we doing? How are we doing? All right. Take the strength potion. I don't know how effective these legendary soldiers are going to be. Keep looking. Nothing. Ooh. All right. We'll take the green shield. Okay, we'll take more flags. I think at this point I'm gonna start, like, I'm gonna sell off the, ooh, this is big yikes. Okay, I'm gonna take the broken shield here. Just hopefully survive one more turn and then kill on the next turn. Not that we were close to dying, I just don't want to take more damage. Okay, let's check out our inventory here. Let's clean up shop a little bit. Let's get rid of the spear. Again, why are these? I need you to fuse, please. And then we just have a couple. Yeah, I'm fine with all that. Let's check out the demon merchant. Attack is defense. Gain armor equal to 0.02% of the damage for each damage dealt. So, oh boy. I'm not going to be able to do that math off the top of my head. So if we're doing for every 1,000 damage, we're getting what? Is that 20 armor? 1,000, 10% or 20% would be 200. 2% would be 20. No, it's even less than that. Ooh. I think I still need to take it though. When any piece gets removed from the field, summon 2 pieces to free slot in the field. Yeah, I'm gonna take attack as defense. Just need a little bit. I need a little bit more defense, right? Let's keep getting that. Let's keep getting the alchemist going. That's a lot of shielding. Definitely need the apothecaries. Definitely need some more potions coming. Yikes. That is a big yikes. I think we might be done here. Ooh, we are very dead. Okay. So, let's go ahead and do this. I want to remove this. I want to just do a free-for-all. See what becomes of that. So, let's go ahead and get some more rerolls here. Let's also grab more damage to elites. More grid. No, I don't really care about that. Sure. Let's just go a couple max HPs. All right. Endless mode. Let's give it another shot. Everything is turned off. Wolves, soldiers. I mean... Okay, we're going to take the broken one. So, does choosing... So, if everything is turned off, does selecting the artifact kind of... Well, no, the artifact gave me 2 chubbies. Okay. Well, there is Messenger. Messenger is good with a lot of stuff. Okay, let's take the Messenger. This is going to be interesting. I think this might be the first... Yeah, we'll take Chubby Camp. I think this might be the first... I'm just going to take another Chubby Camp. First playthrough that I haven't had a focus from the start. Don't care about any of this. Okay, so we're seeing soldiers. We're seeing the Druid faction. Which is really weird, just because you don't, like... You got to be pretty focused on werewolves and warbears, but we want to be focused on chubbies, so yeah, we're not doing that. The enemy receives 20% more damage every 3 turns. I mean, Swordmaster's got to be good, right? Okay, we're gonna pull the Swordmaster in. We're gonna see if we can get some Swordmasters going. Get more chubbies. Actually, probably should grab the Messenger. We already have the camp to make more chubbies. Don't want the soldiers. Let's just go. Do we go flag? No, I'm not looking for any of this. Don't care for any of this. Yeah, let's get the airdrop chubby. That's fine. Airdrop chubby is fine. Just keep making some bigger chubbies. Messenger is good. Yep, another messenger. Just keep building up some messengers. Messengers are going to work with our camps. They're going to work with our swordsmans. All pieces gain crit rate +5 for 1 turn when obtaining a piece. Sure. Don't really care for the soldier camp. Don't really care for shield. Okay. Should we just go for it? Yeah, let's just grab Chubby. Save some of our rerolls. Chubby camp. Totally fine. Totally fine. Grab flags. Spears pretty much suck. Accelerate 1 surrounding piece for 1 turn. Yeah, I'm gonna start taking these chicken coops as well. Although, hang on. How did these compare to our messengers? Every 3 turns, accelerate 1 random piece. So this doesn't have to be surrounding. This does have to be surrounding. But we level it up enough and it's going to accelerate pretty much everything. Okay, so yeah, we may have like 1 or 2 of the chicken coops going. Don't like any of these. Or we'll take a flag. Definitely we'll take a messenger, level up some of those. So they can accelerate more things. Don't care for any of this. Take the chicken coop. Don't care. Don't care. Chubby's fine. Not great, but it's a pickup. Obtain 10% of armor. Every 10% reduction in HP. Enemies receive 10% more damage. It's only for 3 turns, though. I think I'm just going to take the retain 10%. We might just be in for another long chubby run. How are we doing on flags? We need one more for a green. Take the messenger. Chubby camp. Let's go. Let's get the chubbies going. We already got a nice little purple chubby. Chicken coop's fine. Fuse those up. Do I want... No, I don't really want... Okay, I'll grab another chicken coop. Start working on another one. I will take another swords master. Yeah, I don't really care for... Oh, I don't really care for anything here. Armor and warbearer are basically the same thing. At least for right now. Don't really want either of them, but for each piece in your inventory, yeah, none of these really matter. I think I'm just going to take the rampage strike just for the boss fight. Swordsmaster or messenger? 1, 2. We need one more. Let's see. Don't really care about any of this. All right, I'll grab another chicken coop. Yep. Get another camp. Try and get another one going. Another green one going. Grab another chubby. I guess we'll get a shield. It's not impressive, but it's fine. Okay. At this point, I'm going to get rid of the spear. We're almost to the point where it's going to fill up our board, so I'm just going to take that off. I was going to take out the soldiers. And that's it for now. Let's go to the shop, see if we can pick anything up. There we go. Flag bearer, chubby legend. Let's get it going. Yeah, because I definitely don't want a money trick. And let's also... Actually, I think I was going to get a green chicken coop. I think I'm going to hold off. I'm going to save some of my golds. That way we can level up our artifacts. Broken shield. I think I'm going to get the broken shield just to help me survive a little bit here. Yeah, no. Gross. Gross. I should have just taken the airdrop chubby. Should have, but I was getting greedy. Getting greedy. All right, there we go. There's a big hit. Now we're good. Let's take a... Yeah, we'll take the flag here, definitely. Start fusing these guys up. Heart rate, restore 1 HP with each merge. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that. Especially once we level this up, we're gonna be able to survive pretty easily, as we've seen before. For each chubby on the field, reduce damage taken by 3%. Yeah, that one's pretty good. All right, we're going for the long haul. We're going for a nice long run. Strap in, folks. Going to see if we can beat the last record here with the chubbies. Broken shield, airdrop chubby. Yeah, let's just get the free airdrop chubby. Sword fighter, don't care about. 3 green chubbies. Let's go. Take a flag. Take a green messenger. Sure. That's decent. Chubby camp. How are we doing on camps? Yeah, I need another camp. Restore 1 HP. No. We don't care about the swordsman. Don't care. It's fine. Not great. So the enemy receives 40% more damage every... Yeah, okay. Let's go blacksmith. Artifact. We're going to level this up. We're also going to level... This one doesn't matter at this point. Let's also level that up. Going full-on tank mode. No thank you. No thank you. Flag is fine. Yeah, I'll take a Swordmaster. Try and get another one going. Yeah. We'll go green messenger. Messengers we have? We have one blue. We have one green, it looks like. Flag. I'm hoping, at this point, I'm hoping that I'm doing you all proud. There's been a lot of things that I've misunderstood about how the game works. So I'm hoping that I've taken everyone's feedback and have started learning how to better play. I guess the thing that I'm still not entirely sure of is piece armor plus 50. Yeah, I don't think so. Is whether or when I should be going like cross faction. I'm just gonna take the green chubby camp. I don't know that it's ever necessarily right to. As far as I understand. Let's go demon merchant here. Pieces that require more than one turn to trigger reduce the number of turns required by 1. Just reading the others just to make sure. One random piece. Yeah, no, we're definitely taking accelerator here. So now our chubbies attack every 2 turns. Yeah, it seems a little powerful. Seems a little powerful. Okay, then. Let's see. Probably should have just taken the chubby airdrop. I'm getting greedy. I'll take a chicken coop. That's fine. I need to work on building up another green one anyway. How are we doing on camps? I do have another gray one. Let's get him going. General don't need... yeah, don't get greedy. Just take the one that's fine. Ooh. Okay, I will take the green treasure chest. Because the broken swords are fine. They get used up. The spears aren't very good. I'll sell those off, and then the flags will combine. Yeah, it's the enhancement shop that I don't like. So I'm going to save it, and we'll just go to the shop. We'll save our gold. Yeah, see, there's a spear. I'm going to get rid of that. Green chubby or chicken coop? How are we doing on chicken coops? I do need a couple more grays, so we'll grab one more. Don't like any of these. Just take a flag, find that. So... okay. So I think what... okay, so I think this is where I was getting... oh, wait. No. Never mind. I'm... okay, so what I was thinking was... I thought what I just saw was a gray flag getting combined into this green chubby. And I was looking at it, I was like, well, he's giving surrounding pieces +2, but it must have been a green flag, and I just missaw. Because they have to be the same level. We've already established that in this video. Yeah, none of these. Okay, I'm just going to take the barbell and probably sell it. You know what? Yeah, I'm just going to take the green shield. We already have a green shield, so I'll work on building up to a blue. Not with gray, though. This, I think... I will take a shapeshifter, actually. Yeah, I'll take another shapeshifter. All pieces gain crit rate plus 15 for 1 turn when a piece is eliminated. Yeah, I'll take that. Since we have the treasure chest and we're making broken swords, eventually that'll be good. So let's get rid of this. We don't need that. We have that. That's fine. Get rid of this. Gonna get rid of this one as well. I think the rest of this is fine. It's fine-ish for now. It's fine-ish for now. We definitely have a lot of gray pieces that I gotta start fusing. Hey, get out of here, you green freaking spear. There we go. We can get that fused up. I guess I would like the artifact that says at the start of your turn, automatically fuse lower level pieces together. So that way our grays don't have to be next to each other. Just got rid of a Swordmaster too. Okay, I'll take a green chubby. We did end up getting a flag out of that treasure chest. So let's get rid of the spear. Anything else? I think I'm good. Let's hit up the shop. So we got some blue chubbies, blue messenger. All pieces gain attack for each piece in your inventory. All pieces gain attack +1 in 1 turn when merging any pieces. I think I will take this, especially since our chubbies are down to 2 turns now. There's a little bit better odds that we will be merging. And I think that's it. I could go for the airdrop, but I think I'm going to save up my gold again so that way we can upgrade some of our artifacts. Alright, let's go, Senor Catfish. Chubby Camp? How are we doing on camps? Blue. We have a gray one down here. It looks like we have 2 grays. I think I am just going to grab the green one, though. So I got to keep an eye out for a gray Chubby Camp. Soldier Camp, Messenger. Keep going. Shouldn't have kept going. All right, I'll hold on to one refresh. I will hold on to 1. Chicken, yeah, I'll take a green chicken coop. Because I think, how are we doing on green ones? No, we already fused into blue. Okay, so we do, yeah, just refresh this. Take a flag. That was not a good damage turn. Chubby Camp, there we go. Man, we are getting a lot of spears out of that treasure chest. How we doing? Keep the camps coming. Storage 2 HP, damage received, max HP. Let's go. Don't we have, oh man, do we have heals? If we have heals, we should probably go. I think it's probably best to go max HP anyway. I guess my reasoning between the two is that if we get a little bit of healing, we already have so much damage prevention that we'll be able to heal up over time. And so if we have more health, it's just more of a barrier. Definitely don't want money trick. We want to save all our money. All pieces gain crit for each damage dealt. Yeah, we'll take that. Oh, I should have taken a look at my inventory. Get rid of the spears. Yeah, I'm getting so many spears here. Take flag. Take another Chubby Camp. I guess at some point, maybe I should be getting rid of this swords. This, what is it? Swordsman? Swords Master. Although maybe I keep him. I mean, it is just extra damage. It's 1 piece for extra damage. don't know that I need that. Yeah, I don't think I need the gray chicken coop. I did just say I didn't need it, but we'll take it anyway. We got a whole bunch of spears here. Gotta get rid of those. Take the green chubby over the airdrop chubby. Basically, they're the same thing. Yeah, we'll start trying to build up one of those and do another green, because we already have a green. Gonna have to try and turn those into a blue. Alright, let's get in here. Yeah, let's get rid of all these spears. I don't care for any of these. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Okay, so I need one more gray, then we can turn those into greens. Should probably get rid of... Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the gray messengers, especially since we also have the coops. Where's the other one? Oh, over here. Try and pick up a blue messenger and fuse those together. Can get rid of this one. Okay. Definitely don't need the bonfire. Let's get going. Here's where I need like 5x or 10x speed to just pump us through some of these rounds. Don't need messenger, don't need shield, don't need barbell. Do you need the gray chicken coop? Fuse these up. Broken sword's fine. I'll take it. It's free. Man, we are only getting spears out of that. Take the airdrop. Broken shield. No, blue chubbies. Let's go. Let's fuse them up. Make them some big boys. We'll take it to sell. Okay, so I'm going to have to start working on getting my flags built up. I'm going to have to start working on... Because I need to make my way, excuse me, up to some red flags. All pieces gain attack plus 20% for each piece in inventory. Or more damage. Let's do more damage to bosses and elites. Let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of this. We don't need that. Got a bunch of gray chubbies that we need fused up. Don't care. Chubby camp. How are we doing on camps? This is literally all we have. So we have a blue camp, another blue camp. Okay, so I don't need a gray camp, although we do have a couple grays down here. Well, they'll fuse into a green, so yeah, we don't really care about that. I think I'm just trying to reroll. Yeah, I'm just looking for... Okay, I'm not crazy about it. I'm going to take the spear again to sell it. I was mostly just looking for flags, for some high-level flags. It is a flag. I will take it. It's fine. It's fine. It's not great, but I'll take it. Cursed sword. Do I care about a cursed sword? Probably not. It's a very small amount of attack. Although, people have been saying if you level this up, it gets pretty busted pretty quick. But maybe I just wait for... I don't know, because we do have the... Do we have healing? I forgot if we have healing or not. I think I'm just going to pass on it. Maybe I'll wait till later to pick up a stronger level one. It's pretty... I feel like it's pretty low on the totem pole for what we need. Just keep building up some of these chicken coops. Although maybe I shouldn't take them the gray and just started waiting for green ones. There we go. We'll take that flag. Just take this to hold on to a little bit of extra health. Let's go Demon Merchant. Well... This doesn't really matter. I don't know. I guess I'll take the attack booster. It's fine. I don't think that it's great. It's just kind of there. We'll just take it. It might be good later on once we start filling up our inventory. Don't care for any of this. Sure, I'll take a green chubby camp. I'll take the blue treasure chest. Yeah, for sure. Don't care for any of that. Don't really care for any of that. Sure, we'll take a green flag. Why not? Fuse them up. Fuse them on, fuse them on, fuse them on up. Blue chubbies, love it. Actually, do I love it? I guess it's okay. It's not curse shield. Yeah, we don't really. Although that's a lot of armor. We'd only really have to worry about leveling just one up, rather than worried about the other shields, because this blue is 9. This is 18. So the reason that I'm thinking about going with the blood shield here, I think I need, yeah, I still need more gray chicken coops. It's just because if we level it up all the way to red, whatever red is. Like, I want to call it yellow, you know, I want to call this epic, yellow legendary. So what would this be? I guess it would be mythic. It's gonna give us so much shielding that we really only need to worry about one shield. And then basically that's all we're gonna need. Because we really only have to prevent, in this build, we really only have to prevent, like, the first instance of damage, which we can do with the Skull Splitter. Let's go Blacksmith. Artifacts, upgrade this. We're not quite at this level yet, so I'm going to save my gold on that. We'll upgrade that later. Probably, let's go Crit Fanatic. And let's go... That's probably going to be pretty good. Just want to make sure that we don't... I don't think we have anything for healing yet. Yeah, so we'll go Combine Attack. And we'll also do Crit Rush. Okay. I'm still in the area looking for some coops. Turn those into greens. Now we need 2 more green chicken coops. Don't particularly care for any of this. Don't particularly care for any of this. Don't particularly care. There's a blue curse shield. Just need 1 more. That'll give us purple. Don't care. Am I interested in a green chubby camp? I don't particularly think so. Although maybe I should be and start building up another blue one. Although I feel like the odds are just better of finding a blue one. That being said, there's a second green one. Okay. You sold me. Let's start building the blue one. Again, I probably should have taken the barbell just to sell it. Definitely don't want any of that. Not crazy about the greatsword. I'm going to end up getting rid of it. Get the greens, turn them into a blue. Turn the blues into a purple. Very nice. Let's go ahead and get rid of all these. Not going to need any of these. At this point, I can also get rid of these. They are totally not necessary with our blood shields. This guy's way too low level. We'll just get rid of him. And I guess, yeah, we can check out the shop. When dealing critical strikes, restore only 2 battles though. All right, we're gonna hold. Well, I'll do one more refresh. Curse sword. Enemy receives. You know what? Ooh, do I go with that? It's 80 more damage every 3 turns. So it's 80 more damage every 2 turns. That's a lot of damage. Okay, I'm gonna grab this purple sword master, and I think I'm gonna get rid of the green one. Yeah, I really just want one of these. So basically, I can spend gold to upgrade him later on. All right, let's go, Phoenix. The last time we fought you, you had like 3.5 million health. Flag is fine. Flag is fine. Don't really care. Broken sword is fine. It's free attack. Don't care. Don't particularly care. Really don't care. That's fine. Blue chubby camp. Don't care. Sure, I'll take the blue evolution shield. It's making 54 armor for at the cost of 1 health. Crit rate, enemy damage taken. Which is better, crit rate or enemy damage taken? We already have a couple things that are stacking crit rate. Let's keep stacking crit rate. Additionally gain 10% armor. We're not getting injured, so let's just take the more armor. It's fine. Let's get rid of some of the crap that's in here. This is never going to fuse. I need green or higher. I'm so curious as to... Ooh, do I want this? How are we doing here on messengers? Where are our messengers? We have... just a purple. Okay. I am very curious how the developer of this game... Wait, didn't we have a purple? Oh, it probably got leveled up with the temporary shield. How they came up... I will take a blue sword master. How they came up with this music for this game, it's such like a... It's such an odd track. I like... With the character being kind of fantasy related, the music is almost a little bit... It's not Wild West, but it's... I don't know, it's that kind of feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. I'm just going to take it because it's blue. We're going to sell it here. Boom, 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 boom. Do we go? Yeah, we have another green messenger, so let's go ahead and do that. So people have been telling me all their best runs. It seems like a lot of people, their best runs are with Chubby, which, again, I had mentioned it before. I don't think that that's necessarily a surprise. I think that Skull Splitter here is just... might even be the best artifact in the game. It just helps you survive so far. But I've been seeing some crazy numbers. I've been seeing people say they got to floor 100. I think I saw one person comment that they got up to floor, was it 200? It might have just been 100 that I saw that was the highest. But even so, I just can't imagine how long that must have been. How long that must have taken, because the run that we did before, just take it and sell it, was... I mean, it was it was only like an hour 40. I thought that the second half... Ooh, I do want the flag, but I'm going to go with the curse shield, so that way we can fuse those up. I thought it was going to last a lot longer, to be honest, so because I recorded the split in the video... Just take it and sell it. I recorded the split in the video an hour in, because I was thinking it was going to be, you know, like 2.5 hours. Which didn't end up actually happening. It ended up only being like an hour 40. but we only got to floor 40, I think it was. I can't even imagine how, well, I guess you could do the math. It'd be about a 3-hour run to get up to floor 100. Although people are probably playing faster than myself, right? I'm kind of going a little bit slower than I would normally play, just to make sure that I understand everything that's going on, and because I'm talking at the same time. Chubbier flag, chubbier flag. Don't want the gray flag. Don't really actually want either of those. I guess I should have gone green. I should have gone green. Stupid. Stupid. I have other green chubby. Okay, let's get rid of some of the crap here. All this junk. Oh, wait. I probably should have kept that one. These are fine, because I'm going to have to build up to a purple anyway. So I'll hold on to that just for a little bit, see how it pans out. Alright. Late time. Mr. Krabs! How we doing, Mr. Krabs? How we doing? How we doing? You got that Krabby Patty secret formula? Surrounding pieces, armor plus 75%. That doesn't really help me out here. Just take it. Take it and sell it. Wheel it and deal it. We gotta find... I need to go to more demon merchants because I need to find the artifact that increases the range of tiles. And then it's gonna make all our flag bearers cracked in half. Although, really, what I'm gonna need to... Maybe I should just start taking gray flags, honestly. I think... Yeah, you know what? There's probably people already yelling at me for that. I should probably be taking more gray flags to start combining them. Because I'm going to have to start combining these things up to red, which is going to take a little while. Well, we'll definitely take the green one now that I just said that. Not that we weren't going to do that before. But, yeah, that's definitely going to take a little while since we're not pumping them out. But these dang treasure chests just keep making more spears. They're not making any flags for me. Although, actually, what might be happening, I might have a all-piece skin or Sir 1 HP. I don't really care for any of these, to be completely honest with you. What might be happening is I have... What is it called? It's some level of bias, but basically because the way that these are working, right, they're either giving me a spear, which I'm obviously seeing, or they're giving me a flag, which is then going to likely combine into either a blue or green chubby. So I'm not going to necessarily see it if I'm not catching it fuse or merge, then I'm not seeing it. So I'm thinking that it's not making flags. And then, of course, it's making broken swords, which are getting deleted and increasing the attack of my units. So I'm also not seeing that. So that's likely what's going on, actually. And, you know, again, it's interesting because some of the things that I notice after people comment on videos that I've already put out is... I think it's interesting that, and I don't say, well, somebody out there's going to take this in a bad way. I don't mean it in a bad way. That it's a lot easier said than done to comment on someone's video about, like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Well, yeah, I mean, it's easy when you can go back and rewind the tape and look at every single little interaction and see how things are playing out. It's a lot harder when you're trying to do this all, you know, on the fly, 3x speed, talking the whole time, not necessarily paying attention to every single interaction that's going on. And yeah, I'm gonna miss stuff. You know, it is what it is. I'm just trying to play. I'm having a good time playing some Lucky Hunter. Is it 100% perfect? Definitely not. Not even close. I wouldn't even say it's 50% perfect. But, you know, we're doing good enough. We're surviving. We're getting in there. I don't really... Again, I'll take this just to sell. Come on, kill the crocodilius. Kill that crocodilius. But I think that's kind of the toughest thing, because obviously I would like to play as good as possible for you guys. Do I want to keep these? I don't feel like they're necessary. Let's go ahead and get rid of them for gold. These we will get rid of. I think at this point I'm going to get... Oh, man. As soon as I get rid of this green, you know that I'm going to get more green offered to me. Okay. Stick out there. Blacksmith. All right. What are we... Actually, should I upgrade this to green? For only 100 gold. Yeah, I think I'm going to upgrade this to green so that way it fuses with this. So, let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, let's get more crit rate. For each piece in inventory. We're starting to get to the point where this is actually reasonable. And we're not there yet, but I am going to upgrade just so that we have it leveled up. Is there anything else I want to level up here? Yeah, let's turn this up so that way we have that leveled up. That'll turn into a purple. And then, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start getting some purple flags, which will be fusing with our purple chubbies. And then we're going to start getting some legendary flag holders. Oh, heck yeah, we'll take the blue flag. How are we doing? I'm still taking a little bit damage. Still taking a little bit of damage at the start of the turn. Alright, I'll take it. Blue chicken coop. Oh, we need green to fuse up. Ooh. Oh, we're taking a ton of damage, actually. I mean, well, we're not taking damage. We're taking it to our shield. So, do we need this anymore? I feel like I will still take a blue treasure chest. We obviously have a purple one now, but blue and purple is better than blue and green. I have a blue swordsmaster, but yeah, I'm not taking the green one. Actually, I'll take it just to sell it. I'm not scared about, like, you know, losing a ton of health in this fight or anything. Although, yikes. There we go. Yeah, see, we're starting to get some purple flag bearers. You know what? I'm just going to take this just for 2 purple units that I can sell. Although, hang on. Warwolves. The enemy receives 12% more damage. Is that reasonable to keep? I mean, well, so it's the same amount of attack here, right? But this has additional attack baked onto it. It's 80% every 2... Yeah, no, it's 80% every 2 turns. Yeah, no, we'll get rid of these. Enhancement shop. Yeah, this is the one that I do not like. Let's give it a shot. Armor +1. Well, that just sounds awful. Crit rate +20 in 1 turn when merging any pieces. That's fine. Let's just get our highest tech. This one. Okay. Alright, come on, beaky boy. Yeah, we're still just not doing enough damage. We'll take the green flag. So, what we had before is we were building up the ninjutsu scrolls and banners, so we had multiple attacks, and we don't have that this time. Or we'll take a purple messenger. So, the flags here are going to be important. right? In order to get just big hits in, especially once we get them up to mythic level, which is like what we have right here, right? Attack plus 600%. So we're gonna need to get more of those going. How are we doing on camps? Blue, blue, blue. So you're not combining, so I'm not going to get another blue. Actually, am I going to get another blue camp? Yeah, well, because I'm going to have to build them in a purple. Although we do... Oh, I didn't even realize that we actually have just a legendary camp. Or a mythic camp. So I actually don't know if we need any more camps. We're probably good on units. At this point, I actually probably just want to work on treasure chests just to get more high-level flags. Because at this point, that might be the easiest way to get them. And then just building up a couple high-level chicken coops. Gonna go ahead and refresh this. Okay. Just save the rest of my gold. Get rid of all this junk. Okay, so at this point... Oh, wait. Did I see that wrong? Okay, so I don't have a legendary mythic camp. It probably got double leveled up by the evolution shields. Okay, so that changes things a little bit. I think though that I'm still gonna get rid of this green camp. I need one more green so that way it turns into blue, so that way it turns into a purple. Okay. Yeah, not having... that is going to be a really... There we go. There's a purple treasure chest. So not having access to the ninja scrolls or ninja banners is definitely going to be interesting compared to the last run. Because not having access to that means we don't have multi-attacks, and the fact that we don't have multi-attacks means that it's going to be a little bit more challenging to bring down our enemy's attack, right? Because we're kind of banking on the Skull Splitter, so if we don't have multiple attacks, we're not getting multiple triggers. Take that. Now we have 2 purple sword masters. So now I'm going to get rid of the green one. Once we get going, though, we're fine. Definitely take the blue. I think one of the other things, too, kind of going back to our sort of 2 HP crit. Yeah, let's go with crit rate. Wait, hang on. We're already on stage 40? Isn't stage 40 roughly where I lost it last time? That's actually a lot of attack. I think I might keep the red one around. These purple ones, though, can go. Nice. Now we have the legendary one. We're going to be pooping out some legendary flags. Those can fuse up. Yeah, so now we have two purple, so these guys can go. Clear out our inventory a little bit. This green one can go. We already have 2 blues. Okay, for now, I think we're fine. I'm gonna get rid of this chubby. Restore 3 HP at the beginning of battle. Thought we already had that. I guess not. Maybe that was in the last run. Okay, so we have our little bit of healing. Not much, but we have some. So one of the things that's interesting is, from your guys' point of view, there may be things that I do. There may be things that I do that don't make sense because of things that I've done in the past. So, for example, you know, making a decision based on an artifact that I think I have, or, you know, some piece, like, for example, having to recheck the pieces all the time. Oh, yeah, let's just get a free legendary chubby. And again, it is definitely easier to make comment when you can go back and double check things, but I have a very poor memory, and not like just, oh, I can't remember, like, you know, I have very poor memory in the family, so it definitely makes things interesting sometimes, because it is definitely frustrating when you're like, oh my god, there should be things that I should be able to remember, no problem. It's almost like that feeling when, like, for example, I can't even remember how many blue messengers I have, but it's like that feeling you get when, and I'm sure everybody's had this situation, where there's a word on the tip of your tongue that you know for a fact you know, just taking it just to sell, that you know for a fact you know, but you can't pull it out of your brain, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world. But do that for like memories, not just words. And trying to remember, you know, there's the other thing, I forget what it's called, but there's a phenomenon that our brains actively, when we walk through doors, the thing that we were doing previously, we kind of just forget about. Ooh, we'll definitely take that. But it happens like that all the time. It's definitely frustrating, especially when it comes to like work. Like, I can get distracted very easily. So if I'm in the middle of doing something, someone comes into my office and distracts me by asking a question, I can all of a sudden just forget what I was doing, and all of a sudden my entire like next hour is thrown off because I'm trying to remember like what I was doing, and unless I have it right in front of me. It happened the other day where someone walked in, asked me a question, and the project that I was working on, or actually, basically, my coworker had come in. She had asked me a question, been like, hey, are you going to work on this project? And I was like, yep, I'll jump right on it. Somebody came in right after, asked me one simple question, and then I immediately blanked and forgot that the coworker before asked me about that project, and I completely spaced it for the rest of the day. Until literally like 2 minutes before I was about to leave, and I was like, oh, god dang it, I was definitely supposed to do this. But my brain, man, it just like, it skips out, and it just like, it removes pieces of information that I should have. You know what? I'm gonna wait. Is this worth it? I don't know if it is. No, flags are way more. Okay, we're dumping these for gold. We're definitely dumping these for gold. Flags way outscale this, so we just want to make more flag chubbies and get that going. Get rid of this. We're still good with this. I don't know that I'm gonna be making any green. Yeah, I'm good getting rid of this guy. Okay. Let's go. Oh, do we go elite? We have two. So we have 2 elite fights that we could do. I think let's go elite first, then hit the blacksmith shop. Just get a little bit more gold under us. And unfortunately, that's why a lot of my Magic the Gathering career kind of flopped. Is that there would be things right in front of my face that I couldn't remember for the life of me, or I just acted too quickly. And it was like, oh my god, we just went over this, and I totally forgot and got distracted because I looked at my graveyard or something. But then, of course, I had some very poor decisions. Unfortunately, one of the tournaments that I played in that I was actually doing well, made the finals of, very, very stupid decision, mostly just because I was tired, which we've all had those instances. So basically, this was a while ago, or I mean, obviously it was a while ago, that I was in the finals of a tournament. It was way back when Sphinx's Revelation was in Standard, playing against a mono blue devotion player. Game 3 of the finals, and I still know, I don't know the exact land, I don't know what lands I had in my hand, but I know what my hand was. It was Sphinx's Revelation and 5 lands, because I'd mulliganed to 6. And let's see, none of these really matter. And my brain was like, man, do I mulligan this down to 5, which he had kept 7. So I was already in a pretty poor situation. I believe I was on the... was I in the player draw? I'm pretty sure that I won game 1, so he won game 2. Yeah, so I would have been on the play game 3. And I ended up deciding to keep, which obviously ended up not working out. I ended up losing the finals. What else do I want to do here? Let's get rid of these... Yeah, let's get rid of these green ones. I'll probably pick up a blue at some point. Just trying to clear my board here a little bit. Let's also get rid of these green messengers. I think I'm more likely to find a blue. This is getting sold. This is getting sold. Let's see. So at this point, is the gold my only camp? The gold is my only camp. So we can get rid of the blue flag bearer. Okay. And it was a little bit of impatience. I figured, you know what? I guess, so what my thought was... None of this, none of this. I'll take a blue. I guess what my thought was, hey, I have lands in my hand. Now, I was playing a Sphinx's Red deck, so I was likely playing 27 lands. I think this was the time where Sphinx's Red decks were all the way up to that level. There was a time that we were only playing like 25, 26. That was clearly not the right option, so we were like, all right, we're going to pump this up to 27. I think at one point I was even on 28, which is kind of absurd. I think that was wrong. I think 27 was right. And so it's like, I already have 6 lands, so I have my land drops, which is like the #1 thing when you were playing blue-white control. And okay, so now I need to level up the artifact, because we're starting to get red flags now. I was like, I have my land drops. I even have a Sphinx's Rev in hand. So if I can last a couple turns, maybe he's got a hand that's a little bit slower, right? Because post board, mono blue control is, or not mono blue control, mono blue devotion is typically going to bring in some slower cards. They're going to be a little less aggro, especially since he was on the draw. So I was thinking, oh, you know, maybe we can make something out of this. And then I just ripped off land. And then at that point, you know, I had nothing. He had landed a Thassa. It was over from there. He was just too set up. You know, he had 1 or 2 counter spells in hand. Or I should say, I think he had permission spells. I don't think he had hard counters in that deck, but I was too far behind, and that was a rough finals to lose. I thought that was a tournament that I played that I thought was mine to win. And maybe that's a little arrogant. But one of the reasons I thought it was mine to win is because I think ultimately in that tournament, I did have the best. For that specific tournament, I'll say, I will stand by the fact I think that I still had the best deck for that tournament. I think it was really the one tournament that I did, or that I competed in, where I think I made the proper meta call. My deck was built different than most other blue-white decks at that time. the major change that I made to my deck versus other blue-white decks at the time was that I was playing, I think, 3 Last Breath in the main board, which Last Breath was a 2-mana, it was a one colorless, 1 white instant that said, exile target creature if its power is 2 or less and its controller gains 4 life, I believe. I'm assuming its controller gains 4 life, not you gain 4 life. That would be way too good. And the reason that I was playing that was because I expected I knew mono white was good at the time, but was not great mono white aggro. And I had a read that I knew one player. What else am I getting rid of? I think I'm just getting rid of these flags. At this point, they're too low level. I knew there was one player who was he loved his weenie decks. So I figured that he was going to be on mono white. Where's the thing I'm looking for? This right here. Yeah, so this is going to allow us level 6, right? So gray, green, blue, purple, yellow, red. So now we're going to be able to fuse same level red chubbies and flags. We're also, this is already maxed. This is a little bit weird in this game. I know, again, it's weird that this is still a demo. There's a lot here. But yeah, I feel like these should either be grayed out or just not here at all if you can't level them up. We're going to take this as well, so we're taking less damage. We're also going to take for damage dealt, we get crit, and we're going to also take the attack up when we merge pieces. There we go. Yeah, now we're getting a whole bunch of extra attack here. Boom. Big hits. Take the fence just to sell it. So, yeah, I kind of made the read. Typically, at that time, I don't really care. Take a purple barbell. Typically, at that time, blue-white was definitely playing Last Breath in the sideboard. But this was a time where I just threw him in the main deck because I figured, okay, there's going to be a lot of aggro at this tournament, so I want to be ready and basically be pre-boarded, which, you know, I'm trying to think. Well, you also had mono blue devotion, right? And at that time, you would have also had mono black devotion. So Last Breath was actually kind of a decent card that nobody was playing in their main deck at that time, at least for blue-white. Because at that time, we didn't have a whole lot of spot removal in blue-white. If I remember correctly, it was very Wrath-based, so we played a Supreme Verdict. I think we also played a couple of Detention Spheres. Detention Spheres wasn't super great. I'm trying to think what else we played. I know it was definitely, like, it was Supreme Verdict, Sphinx's Revelation, Jace Architect of Thought, and Elspeth Sun's Champion. That was basically the deck. And then you just fill out other stuff. You put in counter spells and draw spells. But yeah, it caught a lot of the aggro players off having Last Breath in the main deck because they did not play around it. They thought that they could get under me and have my first kind of removal spell be, you know, 3 or play around Supreme Verdict. So a lot of them would play like, you know, they'd be like, okay, on their turn 4, I need to hold up either, you know, a creature that can give my creatures indestructible, or, you know, something to kind of play around the Supreme Verdict. Or they would kind of play slow, not play all their creatures. I'd whack them with a removal spell, and then it's like, oh man, I've given them an extra turn where I could have just pushed forward. And that's kind of always the push and pull playing aggro against control. Is like, do you play all your creatures out and potentially play into a Wrath, or do you play it slow, they don't have the Wrath, and then you just lose to the removal spells? Alright, so we're starting to get a lot more flag bearers now. Now I'm going to start selling off some of these chubbies, just so that way we can open up our board a little bit. Right, we're making a bunch of legendaries and fusing them together. And we also have 5 extra down here. I don't need all of these, so we can kind of open up our board a little bit. Get a little bit more cash. Okay, I'm good there. Probably should have done the math on how many we actually needed to keep and how many we need to sell. But yeah, we still got 12 pieces in the inventory here, so we're good. And wait, how are we getting so much armor? What's giving us the armor? This doesn't retain between fights, right? Oh shoot, I was supposed to get rid of this guy. Although he just gave us 32 armor. Maybe it's not bad to keep him. Oh, right. We have the curse shields that are giving us a crazy amount of shield. How many evolutionary shields do we have? The purple. Okay, so I don't need the blue one. I'll just take it though. Sell it. Oh yeah, this is why. This is busted. Okay, we have a lot of shield going on. A lot of shield going on. Curse sword. I'll take it to sell. Ah, there we go. We're starting to get the fusion capsules. That's going to really break us wide open, especially if we can get lucky and fuse some of those pieces together. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So I guess actually there is somewhat of a reason to keep some of those pieces around. You know, like the permanent buffs. Obviously, we're keeping flags, but even, I guess, not spears. I'm not really crazy about that. But what else did I have? I had another really good run at I think it was a PTQ back when they had PTQs, which is for those who don't know, I feel like I might be losing a lot of my people who don't play Magic, but I have a feeling a lot of people do. PTQs was a Pro Tour qualifier, so it was a tournament that you could play. If you won, you got basically an invite to the Pro Tour, which is short for professional tournament. It was the event that everybody wanted. If you were a professional player, that's where you wanted to go and play. That's where, if you did well enough, you could basically become a professional Magic player, but you had to get there first, and then you had to do really well there as well. And so when the piece is eliminated, all pieces gain attack. Yeah, we'll just take it. So this run might have been my favorite deck that I ever played in a standard tournament, at least. So I was playing Jeskai Black, which, let's see, let me think here. I think I'm gonna get rid of this for now. I say for now, but it's just gone forever. I'm gonna sell a couple of these weaker red chubbies because we're making so many of them. Good here, good here. Could probably get rid of this one. Get rid of this messenger. So, Jeskai Black. Jeskai Black at the time was a deck that had a lot of different builds. There wasn't really a consensus on how to play it at the time. And I had kind of just come back to Magic. I'd kind of gone through a period where I sold a bunch of stuff. And so I was coming back. And unfortunately, I made a very poor call when it came to Jace's Vryn's Prodigy. If you played Magic at the time, man, you might have gotten screwed over by the Jace's Vryn's Prodigy. So as the resident blue player of my friend group, I'm surprised that it got by me, but I think it got by a lot of people. So I had a friend who picked him up back because when they were first coming out for pre-orders, they were super cheap. They were like $5, I think. And he was like, no, this card's going to be good. And I was like, no, it's not. So eventually, of course, I was the blue player. So I was going to play them. Bought them when they were like $20. Played them for a little bit. And I was like, nah, I'm going to get out of the game. Or at least for the time being, I was going to get out. Sold them, but they had dropped a little bit. So I sold them for like 15, lost a little bit of them. Then when I came back a couple months later, they were all the way up to 80 bucks. So I had to buy a playset of these things, which I had for $80. Now I had to buy them for $80 a piece for a card that was in standard. And I was like, this is awful. So, but I really wanted to play Jeskai Black. So, picked them up. I played a version of Jeskai Black that was a little bit more aggressive than a lot of the Jeskai Black decks at the time. A lot of them were playing Dragon Master Outcast for a little bit of a longer game, where I preferred playing Mantis Rider, which was a red mana, white mana, blue mana for a 3/3 flyer with flying and vigilance. And just happened to fit into the metagame fairly well. It was very well placed at the time. I don't remember exactly why it was well placed in the metagame, but I do remember it having a pretty decent spot. I feel like maybe it was just because, I don't know, maybe there wasn't a lot of good removal at the time that could deal with it. I know a lot of people were playing Fiery Impulse, which was a 1 mana deal 2, and then if you had Spell Mastery, which was if you had, I think, 2 or more instances or sorcerers in your graveyard, it dealt 3. So it was pretty decent at killing small things, but you had to have a little bit of setup in order to kill a Mantis Rider. And I did okay. We're kind of hurting here. We still, I did okay at that tournament. I ended up making the semifinals, where unfortunately I lost in the semifinals to like one of my, I wouldn't say like a well-known rival. He was kind of, I don't know. He kind of had a reputation to some people as being a prick. Obviously to his friends he wasn't. But he was kind of a rich kid. I mean, he came from a very well-off family, and I forgot what he did. I think he did like either tech support or something for like a hospital. So it was like two very lucrative like industries put together. So he was the kind of player who had all his decks completely foiled out. They were all foreign. He always played the best deck. His deck was always super expensive, and he was a very good player, but he was also very cocky, and so that tended to rub players the wrong way. All right, at this point we're making green. I'm just gonna get rid of this. Actually, are we still making? Where's our camp? Okay, I need to get this leveled up, so I'm gonna get rid of this purple. We're done making purple chubbies. Man, I need one. Okay, so I need one more blue coop. Okay. Let's go to the shop. See what we can find here. All pieces gain crit rate. Sure. Am I going to be combining enough pieces for this to be worth it? Probably. These are both basically the same thing, although this is more consistent because I'm not always getting a piece. All pieces gain 20% attack. Yep. Okay, I'm going to hold the rest of my gold. Yeah, and his deck, he was playing a Grixis control deck, which later ended up taking off and being pretty popular. At the time, though, it was definitely not a popular option. It was a Grixis control deck. It played at the time, I don't remember the name of the card, but it was a 6-mana Chandra that made 2 3/1s with haste. And then I think it had a 0 activated ability, which you could discard your hand, draw the same amount of cards +1. And then it had an ultimate, which I think like Wrath the Board or something. I don't remember what its ultimate was. But it played that. And what else did it play? Remember, that was like one of the main win cons. I think it also, maybe you played, I don't think it was Ashiok. I don't think Ashiok was legal at the time. I don't recall. There was definitely another Planeswalker, a blue-based Planeswalker. I feel like it was blue-black Planeswalker. But yeah, his deck was just, it was a little bit bigger than mine. Played Planeswalkers, played more counter spells. I had more burn. I had things like Crackling Doom, which were very bad against him. So it ended up being not a very close match. I definitely tried. So it was actually, we did go to game 3. And, you know, he was pretty, the thing about him that was kind of rough is that it was one of those situations where, because he was under the impression, well, because he was a good player, it was kind of like a good player recognizes good player. So if you're good, he would kind of respect you, but if you weren't, you kind of got the bottom of his boot. And so that at least lends a little bit, it lent a little bit to my ego that he was actually nice to me, so I think I might have been half good. But, yeah, he gave me a little kudos after the match. He thought, you know, he told me he thought that it was well played and that there were, you know, we talked about the different choices I made for the tournament, all that kind of stuff. Let's go max HP plus 20%. Stage 50. All right, I feel like this is farther than we've got in the past. Let's get rid of this. We're going to keep the flag. We'll get rid of... At this point, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to keep the gold ones. This is fine. I'm fine with keeping those. Let's get rid of some of these weaker chubbies. Where's our... Wait. Where's our camp? I don't see our camp. Where'd our camp go? Am I crazy? Did we lose our... Oh, it combined into here. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I was like, where did our camp go? I don't think I sold it. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to get rid of these blue ones, I think. Because I think it's more likely that we either just buy and upgrade this to legendary and fuse those. Although, yeah, it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Am I good with everything else? I think so. Let's just go the Peace Tycoon. It's just a little extra gold. It was always a weird situation, though, with that guy. Just because there was... From my friend group... I don't care about any of this. No. With my friend group, you know... So I had one friend who really didn't like this guy. And so, you know, it was always like, you know, after, if my friend played this other guy, he'd be like, yeah, this guy's a piece of garbage. And obviously he used a little bit more foul language than I will here. But, you know, and then so after I played him and after we had a good conversation about deck building and all that kind of stuff, this friend would be like, yeah, he's a piece of garbage. He sucks. And it's like, well, I mean, he was fine to me. Like, he was reasonable. Like, I get that you don't like him because he beats you all the time, but like, you can't be hating on him just because of that. Like, you gotta give someone props when they, you know, when they're being a decent person. But that friend I had, he held a lot of grudges. He was very much yeah, he held a lot of grudges. How are we doing on chicken coops? Don't need blue. Take blue just to sell it though. But it's been a little bit since I've played any kind of sanctioned Magic the Gathering. Unfortunately, it just went in a direction that I could not follow. Yeah, it was I think the big thing that set me off about it was the cost. The barrier to entry was just getting way, way too steep. Cards were getting way too expensive. especially for standard. You know, they kicked up the rotation, how often rotation happened, and it just made it so that, you know, you had to buy new cards more often. New cards would rotate out more often, so you'd have to buy like an entire new set. It was a lot of money, and a lot of my friends were stop playing for the exact same reason. So we kind of bowed out, kind of all at the same time. You know, it was kind of at a point too where the development team wasn't, we'll say, up to snuff for what they had been in the past. There were a lot more broken cards. We ended up leaving actually where when standard bans basically became normal again. If you guys are standard players now, as far as I understand, it's probably the same as when I left. Bans in standard were not a normal thing for a long time. And then they just kind of became normal. Basically, back when... Oh boy, what was the set? The set was... I want to say it was Aether something. I know the card was Aetherworks Marvel. But... Oh, Kaladesh. Yeah, Kaladesh brought a whole bunch of problems. Energy was a stupid mechanic. Should never have been a thing. Even though it was fun to just windmill slam some Ulamogs on turn 4, it broke the game. It broke tournaments in half. It was not fun. It was a resource that you could not interact with, and so your opponent could just do stupid things. And so bans became a regular occurrence, which, you know, was not fun when you're buying... If you're buying into a legacy format, not legacy specifically, but like you're buying into modern, right? Or legacy, or vintage, you definitely expect you kind of know what's coming with the territory. You understand that bans can become a thing. Oh, we can get rid of a lot of these regular chubbies now, actually, because we have a lot of flag bearers. But when it comes to standard, and because prices are a little bit more stable in those legacy formats, because the cards, for the most part, have been available for so long. Let's see, what else do I want to do here? I think I'm okay with getting rid of this. And I'm also going to get rid of that. Let's go to the blacksmith. Let's upgrade these some more. Or actually, do I have a piece that I... Oh my god, these are so expensive to upgrade. You know what? I'm just gonna I'm gonna spend the 800 just so that way I can fuse these up, and then I can sell this piece. Then let's also do additional 10% additional armor, especially now that we're getting so much armor. And what else do we want? What else do we want? Actually, probably just level up. Yeah, let's just not that one, not that one. Is this one? Did I already level up the one? Oh, I already leveled up the one I was thinking of. Okay. And now I can get rid of this one, because these will fuse and they'll have just one shield, which will be a massive amount of shield, and then I can focus more on dealing more damage. Yeah, so it was a big problem. You know, when cards in standard would get banned, and then you'd spend all this money, because the problem was that cards in standard lose their value for people who don't play Magic. Well, I'm using a lot of terms that you probably don't know if you're not familiar with Magic, but basically standard was a format that, or is a format that when every 2 years, so basically a card that isn't standard is something that you would find, for example, like cards that are on the shelf at like Target, right? Those cards are likely to be in standard. So every 2 years, cards would rotate out and you could no longer use them in the tournament anymore. You'd have to use the most updated cards that have been released. And so what would happen, or what does happen, is that cards are in legacy formats like modern and legacy, which use older cards that are no longer available in standard. So these could be cards that came out way back in like the 1990s. They are a little bit more stable in their price because they've been out for longer. People have more time. If they're using those older formats, they don't drop in value. But the cards in standard obviously lose some of their value because if they're not good in those older formats, they're not going to be used, and so their price completely drops because there's no demand for them. And so what would happen is these cards would spike in value because, you know, it's a new card would come out, basically, and if everybody wants it, there's a rush to buy them, right? Because they're not readily available because they're still being opened up in packs versus an older card, which all the versions have basically already been opened, so the price is a lot more stable. Do I need another swordsman? I do. I need to turn these into a red one. There we go. And so you'd buy these cards at the height of their, you know, the height of their price peak, and then they'd get banned, and all of a sudden they'd tank in value because they might not be, they're probably not good in older formats. They're only good in the standard format. And you have a lot of people getting upset because if you're buying cards for, at the time when I was playing, like $20 to $30 was pretty high for a standard card. But I remember looking up when this card Ragavan was in the format, it was like an $80 card. And that card, well, that card kept its value because it was very good and extended in modern and in legacy, which it also got banned from. But you start banning people are going to get mad when you tell them that they're cards that are, you know, worth 50, anywhere from in the range from 20 to 80, 20 to $100, that they can't be used anymore. And yeah, the design team that was in charge of the game at that point made a lot more mistakes and a lot more mistakes and a lot more, and it just kept happening. And bannings in standard were not a normal thing for they were the previous bans that happened in standard, I think, happened like 10-ish years before that, maybe a little bit less, maybe it was more like 7 or 8 years before that, but it was a very rare thing to happen because they didn't want people being mad that their cards were no longer useful. Well, once the floodgates open up, because everyone, you know, people talk about like, yeah, this isn't going to get banned. They're never going to get banned cards in standard again. Cards would have to be so busted in standard for that to happen. Well, it happened. I mean, the cards that were banned the first time around weren't as busted as the cards that were banned, you know, 10 years prior. All right, let's get rid of these. But the fact that they made that first wave of bans, basically what happened was it was like, all right, well, now we've done this once, so it's easier to do it again and again. And, well, it kept happening. And, you know, now it seems like it's a pretty natural thing for there to be new bans on the either standard or I don't even remember what the other formats are called now. I think it might be Explorer or something like that. I don't know. I don't keep track anymore. So let's see here. So I need one more because I'm okay with holding on to this. Get a little bit of HP regen. Do I really need this? Content provided by players. Oh, okay. Oh, that means. Oh, okay, that's cool. 16 armor. Yeah, we can get rid of you. Yeah, you're not providing anything to us. Anything of value, at least. Can still probably get rid of maybe one more. Actually, no, I'm gonna hold on. Demon Merchant. Oh my god, we finally got it. Expansion. This, I also misspoke in the last video about this. I had said that it turns your area of effect from basically 3x3 to 4x4. It actually turns it into 5x5 if you do that math, because you have to add one to each side of the square. But yeah, so now basically each one of these, rather than just affecting the squares right here next to it, it's going to affect everything 2 squares away. And so all our flag bearers are just going to go crazy now. Yeah, I'll take a purple evolution shield. Those fuse into a gold. Perfect. take the purple just so we can sell it. So what I actually ended up doing, so I got out of Magic. I sold all my cards quite a while ago. I think it was probably maybe a year ago now, a year and a half ago. I had all my cards for a long time, but I ended up selling them quite a bit later on. Do you want to take a purple messenger? I do already have a purple messenger. Okay, we'll take that. And yeah, there we go. And so I ended up selling all my cards, but I ended up finding Canadian Highlander as a format. And this is, I think it might have been at the end of, was it at the end of the last video that we were talking about this? I forgot what video it was I recorded. I started talking about Canadian Highlander and then we kind of broke off. So let me kind of bring us back into this world and talk about what's going on here. So if you're unfamiliar with Canadian Highlander, you might be familiar with Commander. And if you're not familiar with Commander, Commander is it's a more casual format. Typically, you'd hear talked about as like a kitchen table format where you have 100 cards in your deck. Every card you can only have one copy of a card, so it's 100 individual cards. One of those cards is your Commander. And your Commander is a legendary creature, I should say. And whatever colors that card is, so if that card is a red-white creature, the only color cards you can have in your deck are red and white. Canadian Highlander is a little bit different. It's also a singleton format where you can only have one of each card in your deck. The difference is that you don't have a commander. Commander, or EDH, I'll say EDH because it's a little bit easier to keep track of the names of things if it's not like Commander. So EDH is typically a multiplayer format as well. So typically you will find, groups of like 4 players playing EDH. Canadian Highlander is a 1v1 format. So you are playing against an opponent and you can have whatever cards you want. So you are not restricted to kind of building around a commander. And you can have some really, really fun decks. And typically, oh, you know what I just realized? Okay, I need to start breaking down. I need to start bringing this down to just one board. Because if we don't have our one shield, we are screwed. Okay, so I need to start focusing up a little bit on that. And so you have a lot of decks that kind of what they act like is a 100 card singleton legacy deck. And it's a super, super fun format. Now, you might think, oh, if you look at like legacy or even like vintage, you look at the cost of the decks and you're like, I can't afford that because the land base is so expensive. Don't really need that. These are both kind of the same. Okay. Let's go ahead and fix up our inventory here. Make it so that we have a lot more space. And then we will return to the Canadian Highlander talk here in a second. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these lower level ones. Let's see, 1.21. That's pretty much the minimum here. 1.21. 1.29. Got to make sure that I also don't mess up and grab one of our fused ones. 1.94, 94, 2.0. Okay, we'll get rid of the two. Get rid of this purple one here. I think at this point, because we have the extra range, I'm going to get rid of this purple chicken coop because we have the 2 legendary ones. A lot more red, so I can get rid of some of these basic red ones because we have so many flag bearers. How are we doing? We're doing closer. This definitely goes. Obviously, that goes. This is fine. I think this is also fine. Do not need that much health regain, so we can get rid of 2 of these. Right, I really just need to make sure that I always have this shield. So that way we're safe. We still have so many flag bearers I can still get rid of. And we're making more of these red chubbies all the time, so I can get rid of these basic ones. Okay. I think we might be good here. We're good. We're down to a reasonable size here. And so if you've ever been interested in getting into Legacy, but the barrier entry has been the cost, Canadian Highlander is definitely a format to check out. Now, you might still be thinking, well, regardless, I still can't, even if it's only one copy of Underground Sea, I still can't afford it because most people can't. Because it is not a, obviously you can find sanctioned tournaments in certain places. For the most part, from what I've seen, unless you live in an area that has, like, there's a couple, like Canada, it's very popular. Duh, it's Canadian Highlander. But a lot of it, there's a Discord for Canadian Highlander, and they have a weekly, I believe it's Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern is when they start, a webcam tournament. It's three rounds or 4 rounds? I think it's 4 rounds. Don't really care about any of this. Again, just don't really care. Gain armor equal to damage dealt. Sure, we'll take that. And I'll do one more refresh. Get crit rate for each piece in your inventory. Not trying to build around this that much, so gonna save the rest of my gold to upgrade artifacts. Haha, our buddy, the six-tailed fox. Incorrectly named. So because it's all webcam-based, proxies are 100% accepted and actually encouraged because... How are we doing on treasure chests? Now, we already have a red one. I'm going to take the gold one just to sell it because no one can really afford the cards. So pretty much everyone proxies. Obviously, there are some people who do have cards and they proxy like some of their deck. But I had fun. I basically played one summer. I found a site that you could basically customize your own proxies. So I had like randomly combined 3 surrounding. Okay. So I basically found a site that I could make my own custom proxies. So I made all like old bordered cards, which is cool because I prefer the old borders, like really old borders, not like 2015 old. I'm talking like 98 old, like, but not like alpha beta old, kind of in the middle. I think it was like Visions, because I think that's when I first saw my first Magic the Gathering cards. I didn't understand the game at the time, but there were some guys that I went to school with. At the time, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! This is way back in like third grade. I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh! At that time, and so that's what I played. They played Magic the Gathering, and I only went over to their house like once. But I didn't really understand the game, but I knew that when I went to the Cumberland Fair, which is the, you know, main, it's like the big main, well, it's a fair. it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a fair. And so I made sure every time I went to always go and check out the card there, because there was like one card vendor, right? He'd sell trading cards, and sometimes I would do 10%. Ooh, which do I want here? Let's go max HP plus 30%. When similar, yeah, we don't want the speared chubbies. I guess we just go hot blood and gold. It's not great. Let's get rid of spears type stuff. Can sell that. Can sell. Actually, you know what? I'm probably actually going to keep this barbell. 15 crit is no joke, especially when we have the extra range on it. Okay. So I went to the trading card vendor. In the past, it had been for Pokemon cards. Obviously, as a kid, I love Pokemon cards. Never played the game, though. I just was a collector of the cards. Then for a while it was Yu-Gi-Oh! But then this time I was like, ooh, we're going to get some Magic cards. Now, I had no idea what I was looking at. I just kind of grabbed a long box of cards and was looking through them and was just kind of picking and choosing individual cards that looked cool. I had no idea what they did. I had no idea what the game was like. And after I think my aunt who had taken me to the fair, she was kind of ready to move on after like, you know, probably was like 20 minutes or half an hour. The guy was like, you know what? Instead of just kind of like piecemealing these cards for like a nickel a piece, I'll give you the whole box for like $10. And of course, as a little kid, I was absolutely elated. It was the coolest thing ever that guy was willing to do that. Mostly because I kind of annoyed the crap out of my aunt. But so I got a bunch of cards. I don't remember. So I remember in the past couple of years kind of looking through, trying to figure out what cards they were, because like I don't remember the names of them. Some of the art was like burned in my head. So, for example, I knew for a fact that I had a foil crawworm that I really liked. Why I like it? Well, just because it was foil. I had no idea if a crawworm was good or not. Let's go ahead. Let's sell some more stuff. Yeah, we can get rid of this. This is fine to hang on to. All right, let's go to blacksmith. Let's go ahead and actually, do I want to upgrade this? No, it's not. It's a bunch of money for not that much reward. Pieces eliminated again, and we're not really eliminating pieces. Sure, we'll just pump up our gold economy. Just keep pumping up our gold, I guess. We're in this for the long haul. What else did I have? So it was. I ended up figuring out it was around the time of Visions, the cards that I got. Because again, I didn't remember any of the names, but I do remember going back and rechecking a bunch of the cards from art that I remembered. And looking back, and a lot of the cards I had were really bad. But I just the art was just burned in my head that I remembered it even, you know, whatever it was, 15, 18 something years later. But my point is, because of that, I ended up using that border just because it had stuck in my head, and I think it kind of like biased my, maybe not biased my opinion, but because I had like this subconscious thing where I liked that border so much because it was kind of my unofficial gateway into Magic the Gathering. So yeah, I ended up building a whole bunch of decks, and I ended up only playing, I built like 6 decks because I've always been someone who just likes having built a bunch of, I like building a bunch of different decks, although I very often just end up playing the blue ones, which is exactly what ended up happening. Do I need another swordsman? Are we good? Or a swordsmaster? I keep calling him sword. No, that is a swordsman. Different. Yeah, we'll go for it. I ended up just playing blue, white, red mid-range for basically the entire time that I played Canadian Highlander because it was just the best deck. It just had the best blue cards, it had some red removal, it had some support white cards, and that was pretty much it. But what else do you have? There was a couple Jund mid-range players that plays exactly like Jund does, just good cards. Let's see, let's go Demon Merchant. Might as well just take Fan of Gold. Why not? There was a lot of combo decks. You had like Doomsday combo. You had... what else you had? Thassa's Oracle was a very popular combo card. So you had a Thassa's Oracle deck that played more like a Birthing Pod style. You had a Thassa's Oracle that played in Doomsday. You had... Was there any other Thassa's Oracle was played in a... Was it played in a Goblin Welder combo deck? I think it was. We had quite a bit of combo. There was a guy who was playing a 5-color Planeswalker deck, which was actually really good. And he had it like triple or quadruple sleeved. It was massive because it was all actual cards and all foiled out. And obviously Planeswalkers are quite expensive. All right, we got to start trimming down our deck here, or our inventory again. We're starting to get pretty full. Could start bringing down some of the regular chubbies. Yeah, we'll start trying to build up another legendary. Or actually, well, worst case, we can sell them. Again, just keep up that gold. But Canadian Highlander was definitely a fun departure from the typical, you know, modern or standard, because it was a way for players, you know, I think it got popular with you know, COVID and quarantine and all that, because you could play online, you could play via webcam on Discord, and of course it was proxy friendly too, which was another huge factor. But, you know, it was a lot of cards that I had, you know, wanted to play with, but I just couldn't because they were super expensive, which is a big barrier to entry. I mean, come on, as a blue player, like, all I want to do is cast Brainstorm. But, and in this format, screw Brainstorm, I could play, I had, Ancestral Recall in my deck, which was very fun to play. And if you think I like Snapcastering a Lightning Bolt, whoo, buddy, do I like Snapcastering an Ancestral Recall. Oh, yes. That is quite fun. Sphinx's Revelation, eat your heart out. Because the way it worked, or the way it works, I should say, for any of you who are still, you know, interested or interested at all, either in checking out the game or just interested in hearing me talk about it, other formats, right, have a ban list. Cards that you cannot play in the format. Vintage is the exception that has a restricted list where you can have one copy of a card. So all of the mocks, like the Power 9, those are all restricted cards, right? I don't remember if there are any other. Library of Alexandria is restricted. What else is restricted? I think Flusterstorm might be restricted. There's a lot of like weird cards that you can play one of, which is why Vintage is a lot of decks that have just like a lot of one of cards. Canadian Highlander is a little bit different, where there is no... Let me think. I don't believe there are no cards that are banned. Instead, what there is a point list. So in your deck, you can have a total of 10 points worth of cards. Now, obviously, most cards are worth 0 points. But the best cards, there is a Canadian Highlander Council that actively meets... I think it's like once a quarter-ish, that talks about whether cards... Basically, if cards are too good, they'll either have points added or get added to the point list. And basically, the point list is kind of relative to how good the cards actually are. And also how... So, for example, cards that I remember in how they worked... Do I want to take... Yeah, I'll take another one, try and make another red treasure chest. Maybe, I don't know if that was actually worth taking. So for example, Moxes. While Moxes are very powerful in a deck like Vintage, or in a 60 card deck where you can have multiples, if you can start with 4 copies of Mox Sapphire in your deck, and draw them pretty consistently in your first turn, yeah, they're obviously insanely busted. But if you're playing them in a 100-card singleton deck, they're good when you draw them on turn 1, but ultimately there's not a lot of cost to... Or there's not a lot of downside. Is that what I'm trying to say? Basically, they're not as busted as they are in constructed formats. Let's get rid of all these spears. So, Moxes cost 3 points. A card like Ancestral Recall is worth... I think it went up to 8. But when I played, it was at 7 points. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that there are a lot of tutors available to allow you to go and grab that card out of your deck, which is very powerful. There's also a lot more ways to recycle the card and use it multiple times. Like I just mentioned, Snapcaster Mage was a great one. There are cards like, oh, what was the card? It was a land. It was a land that if you had like 3 or more islands, you could return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to the top of your deck. That was another very popular one to get Ancestral Recall back. Let's get rid of these. think I'm okay with these. Okay, at this point, we can get rid of a lot of these regular chubbies because we have so many flag bearers now. Just gonna keep the highest ones. And the ones that are combined, obviously. How are we doing? Getting closer. Actually, I think I'm just going to get rid of all the ones that aren't either upgraded or combined. There we go. Yeah, that's still so many chubbies. What else was on the point list? Like a card like Birthing Pod, for example. I think at one point was 3. I think it went down to 2 because it started being less powerful in the format. What else was pointed? Strip Mine was like a point. Thassa's Oracle was 8 points because it was just so easy to win with it, and there were so many ways to fetch it up. Basically, you know, it was built so that you can't have a deck that's like playing Thassa's Oracle and Ancestral Recall. You just don't want a deck to have that much power. So, yeah, so you have a point system. And so you want to basically maximize the amount of points that you have for your deck. So, for example, I think for a while I was playing Ancestral Recall, which was 7. I was playing Mana Drain, which was 1 point. I was playing Dig Through Time, which was 1 point, and I was playing Treasure Cruise, which was 1 point. In like my, you know, blue, white, red control deck, basically. It was a little bit more aggressive. It had more creatures than a typical, you know, than like your standard control deck. But a lot of that is just because it's so much harder to actually find your win conditions in a 100-card deck. But I could easily go through, you know, 40 or 50 cards in my deck, like easy. Take Crit Booster. All pieces gain attack, sure. One random piece is level +1/1 turn temporarily when injured. No, I don't really care about it. Alright, yeah, we're at the point where we're not even finding anything more. 189 million, let's go. But it was a very fun system because it wasn't necessarily about finding all the most broken cards. It was about leveraging the cards that you could have. So, for example, there was a time where I was building blue, white, red mid-range, same deck, but I took out the Ancestral Recall. I took out the... I think I still played... Did I play Mana Drain? No, I didn't. So I took out all those cards. Basically, instead, I played... No, I played 2 Moxes. So I played Mox Sapphire and Mox Ruby. And then I played Mana Drain, Treasure Cruise, Dig Through Time... And then I had one other card that I don't remember off the top of my head. All attack pieces gain crit rate +15, sure. Because at the time, it was just necessary to have a deck that was faster. So me and the other guys who were playing the mid-range deck at the time, we're like, you know what? It might be beneficial just to add a couple Moxes to our deck because there was more, you know, there's more combo in the metagame than there was control decks. So having a card like Ancestral Recall wasn't as important as was having the speed in order to get a threat down and start actually beating them. But all that being said, Canadian Highlander is a super fun format. If it interests you at all, I would definitely check out the Canadian Highlander Discord. A lot of the guys, basically all the guys over there are super chill and are willing to help kind of get into the format, figuring out ways to better proxy cards, you know, figuring out how to set up a webcam for yourself so that you can actually play. I guess the one downside is that the only real tournament that is available is at a very specific time on a Saturday, which it's like Now, granted, for me, it was right in the middle of the day, right? It was 1 p.m. Eastern, which is kind of like not a great time. But there are people who play all around the world. You know, we had people from Europe that were playing, so very different time zones. So we had to kind of take that into consideration when we were setting up times for tournaments. But there are always people just randomly playing games. People are always looking to just jam. So if you're one of those players who just wants to not necessarily play in, you know, a quote-unquote tournament, but just wants to meet people and play games, that Discord is a great place to go, for sure. Very welcoming people. Okay, let's keep upgrading our artifacts here. Sure, at this point, I'm not even sure like what I'm upgrading, because we're kind of at the point that I was at last time, which is, sure, we're gonna upgrade this, which is I'm at a point where I'm not actively making a ton of decisions. The game is just kind of running itself for the most part, and there's you know, a lot of just kind of smaller decisions to be made. And they're not even really decisions. They're just things I'm waiting for. So, for example, you know, waiting for more fusion capsules so that way we can just make some more busted units. Waiting for, you know, grabbing some purple, like anything purple or higher so that way I can sell it for more gold. But even then, the gold at this point is like overkill. At some point, I'm going to be outscaled and I'm going to die just like we did, you know, the last time we had a run like this. But, you know, in this one, we're 2 hours and 20 minutes in, and I knew this was going to happen. So before I sat down to record, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. So I'm recording this, well, right now, it is 7:25 p.m. Now, when I sat down to record this, it was 5:15. I had just gotten back from work, and I was like, you know what? I'm not super hungry right now. So what I'll do is, and I needed a video for tomorrow, because I only have one video recorded for tomorrow, which is going to be Friday. I'm not sure if I actually have one other video, but regardless, it's besides the point. I was like, I should record one video before I eat, because typically after I eat, I start feeling a little bit tired. I'm like, I don't know if I want to record right now. And then I end up watching some videos on YouTube, getting sucked in. And I'm like, we can pause recording until tomorrow. All that kind of stuff. So anyway, did the same thing. I was like, you know what? I'll just sit down and record. I was like, you know what? We have one more episode of Lucky Hunter, or maybe two more, but I knew that I for sure wanted to do one more video specifically targeting the, oh, never mind. I see what happened. Specifically targeting the alchemists, I should say. And so we did that real quick at the start, and then I was like, you know what? We'll do one more run, and then it just happened to be a chubby run. And now I'm here almost 2.5 hours later. My stomach's starting to grumble. It's 7:30. I'm like, oh, why did I get myself into this? So we're still here. And for those of you guys who are like, well, why don't you just pause the recording and then go and get food? Well, kind of. I mean, I definitely could do that. The reason why I don't, and the reason why I don't, well, first of all, I'm not going to eat while I'm recording. That's just straight up rude. No one wants to hear me chewing while I'm recording here, playing some Lucky Hunter. But the reason I don't is, well, probably basically nobody knows this, because I don't think, well, yeah, I don't think I even talked about it when I did YouTube before. So I had story time. This is a episode for full-on story time, right? So I'm just trying to find any story I can talk about, really. So I think I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep these so that way I can fuse them into here. How many more will get rid of these? How else are we doing? How else are we doing? What else are we doing? I think at this point I can also start getting... Now I can start getting picky. Now I think I'm at the point I can start getting picky. So I'm going to start getting rid of these 1.21k just regular flag boys. Right, because I have all these others that are boosted. So I'm going to hang on to those. And do I have another? I do have an... I think this is what's a little bit difficult. And I think... So I haven't gotten to this situation yet. I almost feel like what I would like to see for the inventory... And this is going to be... I don't think the dev would ever see this because it's so deep into a video. But I would like to see a list here on the side of everything that you have. Because one of the things that's happening now that we're a bit farther into the game than we have been in the past is I'm sitting here like, okay, do I want to keep the swordsman? And I look at this and it's like, oh, well, it's my only swordsman. It's my only heal. Well, it's not, because I have a swordsman here attached to this one. I also have a swordsman... Or no, those aren't the swordsmen. Those are these guys, the sword masters. So I actually do only have... But I do have one red swordsman, which I'm fine with. So I'm going to actually get rid of this one. Or no, do I hold on to it? I think I just hold on to it. But I would like to have a list here on the side because it's going to start getting to the point where I'm losing track of... Like we did earlier, I lost track of my chubby camp here. And I'm going to get rid of... No, that's a messenger. That's a messenger. Any week you can go. You're 2 weak. There's another 1.21. There's another 1.21. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Hello? Oh, there he is. Okay. So yeah, going back to what I was saying. So the reason I don't eat, or at least close to recording, or it's actually worse drinking anything, is quite a number of years ago now. Don't need any of these because everything's pretty much upgraded. I'm trying to think of when it was. Was it? I think it was definitely before COVID, so it would have been like between 2018 and 2020. I don't remember exactly when. I had... Oh, what was it called? It's not gastric bypass. It was a sleeve. So it was... What was it? Was it VSGG? It was basically the same thing. If you know what gastric bypass is, it's basically the same thing, but I had the sleeve version, which is basically... They take out like 80% of your stomach and literally turn it from like a sack to a sleeve, which sounds gross, but the whole point, I mean, I needed it for weight loss surgery. At my highest peak, I weighed just shy of 400 pounds. And so there's different pros and cons of why you would want to go either. Let's go to the enhancement shop now. Surrounding piece attack +1, definitely not. No. That I will take. We'll go ahead and combine that. We'll just grab a piece here. No, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Very bad. Oh, wait. Attack count. Oh. No, attack count is good. Attack count is good. 75k. Yeah, I'll put it with a 75k one. Self crit rates. A 10% chance. Now, is this does this stick around, or is this just a one-time thing? One-time thing I'm not so keen on, but if it sticks around, it's pretty good. Go ahead and put it on this one. Do this as well. So, yeah, I had the sleeve for weight loss surgery, and one of the side effects is... it's not like an intended side effect. It's not something they tell you about. It's just something that I noticed happens a lot more after having the surgery, is specifically drinking any quantity of liquids makes me burp way more often than I used to. It's just kind of one of those things that happens. And so I don't want to be doing that on camera. which is also one of the reasons I don't drink a lot of water when I record, which is why my mouth gets a little dry sometimes. But, yeah. It was successful. It was pretty successful for me. So I had gone through, I've struggled with my weight ever since I was a little kid. Always had issues. My mom had a lot of issues with it too. She pretty much beat the issues. She does really well with her weight now, but she still struggles from time to time. As, you know, anyone who has issues with their weight or struggles, you know, like eating struggles, it is something you battle with for your whole life. You know, I have a very addictive personality that I found. You know, anything that I find that interests me, I jump in just head first and go full bore into it. And food is no different. Food is very addictive. You'd be surprised. I mean, you'd be surprised. No. Yeah, it's shouldn't surprise anyone that the American food system is literally built to make you get addicted to food that's awful for you. There's a lot of chemicals and a lot of nasty stuff in food that's made over here. There's a lot of regulations that we don't have that, you know, like European countries do, and they can just put complete crap in the food. Yeah, so I had a lot of issues with my weight. And I had, you know, I'd gone through like Weight Watchers. I had done, what was the other one? South Beach. Tried that with my parents. That one didn't really, you know, it didn't really work out there. Nothing ever really worked. My doctors had basically told me like, hey, you're going to develop diabetes. It's going to suck. Like, you should probably do something about this. You know, you have the anxiety that I think every overweight person has going to the doctor. You don't want to do, because the first thing they do is make you step on the scale, and it just makes you feel bad for the rest of the day. And so I got to a point where, you know, my parents had come in to talk to me about it, because, you know, it was still an issue, and it's still, you know, my weight is still an issue this day. I'm not oblivious to that fact. It's not that people will tell you, well, I should say, people who don't know will say that bypass surgery is cheating. I can 100% tell you that it is not. It is a tool and can act like cheating, at least for the beginning, but it is not a fix-all solution. Whoa, look at that. We finally get auto merge after floor freaking 80. Not that we need it anymore, but I'm just going to take it because nothing else good is there. It is definitely helpful, right? The whole point of bypass surgery, for those of you who are not in the know, is it is intended, basically, well, not even what's intended. What it does is make your stomach smaller, so you're physically not able to eat the quantity of food that you could before surgery. Nothing here. And so it forces you to eat less, which is a problem. If you have an eating problem where you just don't have the discipline, you just are not, it's not even necessarily that you're not strong enough, but I mean, food addiction is a real thing. And just like someone who is trying to quit smoking is going to have troubles with it, especially food addiction is it's tough, because from my perspective, it feels like it's one of the harder addictions to kick. Obviously, there are going to be other things that are like chemically making you addicted, right? I'm sure that it is much more difficult to break a heroin addiction, for example, right? And people die from heroin overdoses all the time. The difference with a food addiction is that, compared to heroin, which is a really weird example that I have here, but the difference is that I'm not going down the street, hanging with friends, going to the grocery store and seeing heroin on a shelf. But I can go down the street, go to the grocery store, and see, you know, a box of Cheez-Its or a bag of chips or, you know, whatever, what have you. Or I go to a friend's get-together and, you know, we're having chicken wings or buffalo chicken dip and just eating a crap ton of it. That is what makes food addiction so tough, is that you have to have food. You don't have to have cigarettes to survive. You don't have to have drugs to survive. You don't have to gamble to survive. You have to eat food to survive. And so that is where, you know what, at this point, I'm going to do this so that way they combine into a red one, even though that uses all my money here. So that is one of the challenges with food addiction. And for me, I had gone through a bunch of different diets, tried them out. I did not have the willpower to do myself the service I needed to. So, and I had never considered weight loss surgery because, you know, I was not a kid, but a young adult, and I didn't have the money to do that. I didn't even know where to begin thinking if that was an option. But my parents, they asked me about it very cautiously because they didn't want to be, you know, they didn't want me to think that they were forcing it on me. But they offered it as a suggestion. I said, you know what? I am the type of person who gets... What's the word I'm looking for? I tend to not like change too much. So I'm the same way with jobs. I get comfy in a job, and it takes heaven and earth to push me out of that job, even if, you know, even if it is a better situation for me to actually leave. Oh my god, that's doing a lot of damage. So I eventually said, you know what? I think that it's a reasonable thing for me to do at this time. It is a drastic change. It's going to change up my lifestyle quite a bit. But you know what? I think I just need a pretty massive push here to kind of push me into it and force me to do it. So it took a little while. You know, it took... I had some classes that I had to go to. I ended up having to do a lot of prep before surgery. You know, you need to lose a certain amount of weight so that, first of all, they know that you're going to stick to a plan, but also because they need you to lose some of your body fat so that way they can actually get to your organs easier, which is it's kind of gross thing, but, you know, when you're overweight, fat builds up on your organs, and so you need to lose some of that. That being said, not even after the surgery, the fastest way I lost weight, and I do not recommend this, but what they do is before surgery, they put you on like a speed weight loss diet where I was on 100% protein shakes. That was the only thing that I could eat. Now, how long do you think? 3 days, 5 days, 7 days? A month and a half. For a month and a half, that was all I could eat. Oh, shoot, I should have... Shoot. Because per the surgery guidelines... Oh, boy. We might be in trouble here. I might have messed up. I very might have messed up. Hopefully we can survive. Per the surgery, you had to go on a liquid diet for 3 weeks before surgery. But because of my weight, they needed me to get down to a certain point. I needed to do 3 extra weeks. So for 6 weeks, all I could eat in a day was protein shakes. So I had 3 a day, and that was it. That was the most boring 6 weeks of food I have ever had in my entire life. Now, I dropped weight fast. I would not recommend doing it, but I lost anywhere from the first week, I think I lost 15 pounds. I think total before surgery, I lost like 45 or 50 pounds, I think, somewhere around there. I don't recall the exact numbers, but it was a drastic amount of weight. I would not recommend doing it. It sounds like it's rough, and don't get me wrong, it is. The first 3 days are easily the worst. Those suck. But if you can break over the hump and get past the cravings that you have, it's really those first 3 days. After that, your cravings start going away. It ends up being fine, and actually, it's kind of nice because then you don't have to think about the food. You just drink a shake and you're fine. But yeah, afterwards, or actually, wait. No, I messed that up. So it wasn't 6 weeks prior. It was 6 weeks total, But the reason I messed that up is because it was 2 weeks before surgery. I needed to do 2 extra weeks. So that was a month before surgery. But then my diet plan after surgery, I needed to do another 2 weeks of just liquid. And so that was a little bit different. It wasn't protein shakes. I was doing like clear broth. I was doing, you know, things like Jello, stuff like that. Because, you know, obviously I had incisions in my stomach, so I couldn't have anything that would cause my stomach to expand or could damage the incisions. So it was all clear liquids. And that was rough. The fact that on top of the 4 weeks I had to do before surgery, I had to do 2 weeks after. But I would say it was helpful. But again, my whole point of this was that it is not cheating. Because if you don't stick to it, like I haven't, it's been several years since I had the surgery, you can absolutely... No! Oh, man. Rip run. Rip run. How far did we make it? 84. All right. Well, not to 100 like some of you other guys have done and told me about in the comments, but 84 is a little bit better than we did last time. I think we might have like doubled our score. I don't know. Were we in the fort? No, I think we made it to like 53 if I remember correctly. So yeah, only a little bit better. Again, once we like, I get to a point mentally in this style of game that's quote unquote endless. I don't know if it is actually endless. I'm assuming it is because it literally says it, but I get to a point when we're actually building our inventory, when we're actually building our cards. I'm engaged because we're actively doing it. Once we got to that point near the end, I kind of not mentally check out, but the game kind of auto plays itself. Yeah, which I think I talked about the end of the last chubby run, but yeah, endless mode for me, it's a little bit too long. I like to get to a point where it's a busted build, play for like a little bit longer, and then beat it, and then move on to a different build. Because eventually it's like, okay, we have stronger enemies to beat, but at a certain point, it's like, all right. Same thing again. So I'm not going to hold you guys too much longer because obviously we've been sitting here for 2 hours and close to 40 minutes. I'm hungry. I'm going to go make some food, go make some dinner. And yeah, so I think guys, that has been our Lucky Hunter adventure. I think that is a pretty decent place to leave us off in this demo, at least. We will definitely come back and check out more Lucky Hunter when there's more updates, but I've kind of done everything in the game. Now, I haven't done every build, of course. You know, I haven't really like maximized a ninja build or a werewolf and werebear build. But for the most part, you know, I've gotten a taste of everything in the game. You know, I didn't really have like a good potion run or anything like that, but I've kind of understood everything that's gone on in the game. And, you know, especially if these runs are going to be like 2.5 hours, that's a lot of time that I could be recording other games. So we will definitely come back and check out Lucky Hunter when there is more content in the demo or an early access version comes out or something like that. But for now, I just want to thank everyone again who has been so supportive in the series. Of course, everyone who's been watching. These videos have absolutely been blowing up compared to all my other videos, so there's clearly a want for more Lucky Hunter videos. But we have a lot of other games. I have a ton of games on my wish list that I want to push out videos for, so gotta find time to do those, right? And if I'm sitting here for almost 3 hours recording Lucky Hunter, that's 3 other videos that I could have done and 3 other games that I could have brought to you guys. So, yeah. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Here we play all kinds of roguelikes, deck and dice builders, tactical strategy games, auto battlers, and so much more. But guys, thank you so much. I've been Ganyonz. Let's do it all again in the next one.